Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom, and it's Friday, a May-long Canadian weekend. Yes, the Canadian long weekend, and the Americans will have it next weekend for the Indianapolis 500. Oh, I remember that well. AJ Foyt, all those guys, racing those cars, that was good times back then. I remember it well, kind of, sort of, maybe. All right, so this morning we woke up to +1, but feels like -2, and there's the frickin' wind. All right. And then on the yo-yo scale, +34. Good car made famous by Bonnie and Clyde. But feels like +31 Fahrenheit. It's a good day to haul water. Yes, everything will freeze, but that's okay. All right, let's scroll this way. The staff will be over at 10 o'clock. We have Thor, the plow truck, plugged in. Yes, it's a Cummins motor. So it loves a little, warmth in the motor to make it start. And then you don't have to give it that ether, a sniff of ether. All right. So yesterday, working on the 38 GMC, turned out to be a good day. I defied the gods of gravity and welded overhead. Yes, like this. And I wasn't grinding for 2 hours either. Yes. All right, scroll a bit more. The chimney is closed. Where is it? Chimney here is closed. Yes, that works out very well. So no, the rain won't get into the stove. Yes. All right, a little bit more. And now we can stay at the No-Tell Motel in the 48 Chevy sedan delivery because the door's locked. Yes, we can, stay overnight somewhere. All right, a little bit more. And there's the snow truck. We should be working on it because it's so freaking cold out here. Unreal. All right, just a little bit more. We're right back where we started, and I'm getting dizzy. All right, I better go. Here comes the boss.
Friday morning in WHO-ville. It's almost 10 a.m. I just got the quad out. I have to head over to the kingdom and give my dad a hand with our big water haul this morning. So let's head inside and get ready, then go over and see if my dad's ready to go down and get some water. 10 a.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Made sure to grab the Insta360 stuff. That way when we're down at the water hole on the way back, I can do a little not GoPro video for you guys. Now let's head down to the shop and see if my dad's ready to go. Now my dad will head down to the watering hole. I'll follow him behind him. He'll have to back all the way from the end of the kingdom, which is right here, and straight back down the road to our little watering hole. Once we get down there, I'll show you guys. Made it down to our little watering hole, no problem. This right here is a tiny little pond. Not sure if you can see it through the bush right there, but there is a pond that feeds into here, and then it goes all the way to our muskeg, which is just on the other side of the road in the bush, which we play on in the winter time. My dad had to back down a fair ways, all the way up from that hydro pole, back down into here, no problem. He didn't even get stuck. Got the hose in the water, look how clean that is. And it comes all the way over from that little pond there, and then this water will get pumped into our big black tanks as a safety measure in case there's any fires around WHO-ville. Gotta make sure we prime the water pump. Takes about 15 to 20 minutes to fill the tank, which isn't bad. Then we'll drive back into the kingdom and pump it off into the black tanks. While we wait for the trailer to fill up, my dad's gonna air up all the tires. As you can see, he's using the air from Thor, and it's going all the way over to the tires. Gives us something to do while we wait. 10:30, we just got the first load done. I put the Insta360 in the cab with my dad, so you guys get a little POV of what he's doing in there. Now let's head back into the kingdom and drop the load off. made it back into the kingdom, no problem. Now my dad will pump off from this black tank into these two. Should take about 10 minutes or so to pump off, then we can head back down and get another load. I didn't record my dad coming back into the kingdom because I didn't know if he was going to drive in or back up to the tanks. Almost 11 a.m. and I'm back in the house. My dad's going to head down and get the second load. I'll go down at 11 a.m. and video him coming back into the kingdom. I'm not going to head down there just yet because my ankle is pretty sore today, so it's hard for me to get around the kingdom. Yesterday when my dad went to go close the top of his chimney pipe, you can see that little yellow rope that's hanging down. Well, the cap wouldn't close, so he threw the rope onto the roof to get it to close. Then he had to climb up there to get the rope back off the roof. While he was up there, he noticed this little cap right here was open a bit, so it's a good thing he went on the roof, so he was able to gasket glue it before any water got into the extension of the shop. When he threw his rope back over, somehow it ricocheted, hit the wall, went flying over towards the grader, and there's a window on the extension of the shop. He almost busted out that window, so that's not good. You'll have to figure out a better system to open and close this. 11 a.m. and I made it down to Thor. My dad's done with his second load, so I'll set the Insta360 up in the cab again, but I'm going to have it facing outward so you can see the road. Got the Insta360 hooked up inside of the cab. I'm not sure if you can see it there, but it is facing the road, so that way you get a video of my dad going back into the kingdom. Now I'll video him leaving. As you can see, the water level has dropped a fair bit. We've taken 2 loads out of here so far. Hopefully it comes up enough so we can get one more load. Not sure if you can see the bubbles right there. If we were to open this up right in between the little pond there and where we're getting water from, this whole road would not be passable because all that water would be on the road here. Now I better catch up to my dad as he heads into the kingdom. Almost 11:30, we made it back into the kingdom. My dad's just pumping off the second load, then we can head back down and get one more load. Not sure if he'll be able to pump off the third load because the tanks need to level out first. All the water goes from this one and naturally goes into the second one. Got all the water pumped off. Now we'll put the pump and everything back on the trailer. Then my dad will go around the kingdom to turn around. While he's doing that, I'll head down by the back gate and get a little video of my dad backing all the way down to where we get water from. Made it down to our watering hole for the last load. The water did come up a little bit, so hopefully we'll have enough to get one more load out. Then we can head back into the kingdom and pump it off. I'll get one little video of my dad pulling into the kingdom, and hopefully that Insta360 videos I did turned out good. 15 minutes later and the last load is full. Look at how much water we took out of here. When we first came down, this was all full. And as you can see, it's starting to fill itself back up as well, coming from the little pond there. Give it till this evening and this will be nice and full again. Might have to come down here in the fall and dig this down a little more. That way we have a nice little pond to get water out of. Now let's head back up into the kingdom and pump this off. It's almost lunchtime. Almost 12 p.m. we made it back into the kingdom. Now we'll quickly pump off the last load. Then my dad will circle around and park over by trailer number 2 so we can put all the hoses away. 12 p.m. and as you can see, the tanks are full. I'll stick my camera in there and show you guys this is not drinking water. This is just in case of fires or if my dad has to pressure wash something. Now let's put everything away. We gotta make sure we empty out the pump, that way if it freezes during the night it's not gonna be wrecked or destroyed. Now my dad will top it up here and then we can put everything away into trailer number 2. Try not to spill it everywhere.
That's right.
It's a little windy out here.
Average, we wouldn't waste it.
Over at trailer number 2 and now we'll put all the hoses and the pump away and then I can head back into WHO-ville and make lunch. At 2 p.m. I'll go up and do the mail and then return to the kingdom. 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 4 degrees Celsius, which is 39 degrees Fahrenheit. We would have the feels like on the bottom. As you can see, it is still pretty windy out there right now, but the sun is trying to peek through the clouds. Let's head inside and wait for 2 p.m. so I can go up and do the mail, then head to the kingdom. 2 p.m. Now I'll head up and check the mail, then go over to the kingdom. I don't think we're doing anything else today. My ankle is pretty sore. I was going to do some yard work, but I'm way too sore, so I can do that tomorrow when I'm feeling better. Now let's head up and check the mail. Just after 2 p.m. and I made to the kingdom. There was nothing in the mail today other than my updated ID. 2 weeks ago today, I went down to Thompson, the first time leaving WHO-ville in about 6 to 7 years, and I went down and updated my ID. Did pretty good. Only took 2 weeks to get up here. Normally it takes a month or two. Now let's head back into WHO-ville and do the weather at 4:35 p.m.
Okay, just about coffee time in the kingdom, and wind is cold. It was cold hauling water. At least there was no bugs. Yes, usually we're down there, we're fighting off the sandflies and have to hide in the truck to get away from the sandflies. Today we're hiding in the truck to stay warm. All right, seems how it is Friday, the Canadian long weekend, and the staff has the mini hoe booked on Sunday, so we have to give it an oil change. Usually we could a pressure wash and everything like that, but we can't. It's too cold for that. So we have everything laid out. Yes. So here we are here, draining the oils. And you have to pull the dipstick because it's a remote drain. If you don't do that, there's no way the oil will come out. It'll take about 2 hours. We learned that the hard way. And we have everything written here. Oil plug, 19 millimeters. Oil 4 liters, which is a gallon. Yeah, we're going to put a gallon in. So there we started servicing it and everything like that. We gave up writing things down because it's all in the control pad right there. Because it tells you when it wants an oil change. It starts beeping and flashing. And then it says the word fine, just like a woman. Oh well, let's continue the quest, and then we can have some victory drinks and start the May long weekend in Canada. Okay, I cleaned the mic port or whatever they call it on the Me phone, so hopefully that works a lot better. The other video sounded kind of funny. Oh well.
5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 5 degrees Celsius, which is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. It was pretty nice in the kingdom, but chilly today. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out. Then I can make supper and end my day.
Okay, just about 5 o'clock in the kingdom, and I serviced the mini hoe over here, and it's all ready for the staff to use it on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. Oh, I've been beveraging. It is Friday of the long weekend in May, and it's chilly willy up here. So I started the annual May long weekend project, which we'll go into details tomorrow. But doesn't that look good? That's tomorrow's project and the weekend's project. All right, look at the flags. They're having fun, and I'm hiding out of the wind. Let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and make a video. Yes, we'll drink lots of beverage. Yes. All right, talk to you later.